To another episode of Field Phone Ops. Today's episode, we're going to look at a British and Commonwealth Forces telephone set F. So sit back and here we go. Okay, and here is our British telephone set F, made during World War II. You can see it comes in a wooden case. It could be used in the case or removed from the case. We'll look at the case, right? That's got the labeling on it. That right there, it's got latches on it. The actual front cover actually flips. Get this up like this, so it can be used. Squeaky hinges. It's got some really neat data plates on it. But the problem with a lot of the data plates, they're really coming apart. I don't know what to do. I want to clean them, whatever. Phone was manufactured for the British Ministry of Defense, actually the Commonwealth Forces. Used them during World War II. They're manufactured from the mid-30s. I can't get an exact date. Sometimes I've seen some 1932, 1936. Well, this is a 1938 model. They were made in two versions. One was a Mark I, which had a metal chassis, and the follow-on one was a Mark II, which basically had a plastic or Bakelite chassis. It could be used either inside the wooden case like this, or like this, it would slide out. Let me get it to slide out here. Slide it back a little bit. Like that, to be used like that, or it could be completely removed from the case and used. They call that dismounting. That's what I'm going to do right now because it's easier to see the phone as we go over stuff. So I'll go ahead and get it out. I don't know how they did this. It's sort of difficult. And it's fairly heavy. And there we go. Inside the case, like I said, it's got some nice labels in it, but they're faded so bad, I don't know what to do to try to restore them. Maybe I'll just look online and see if I can maybe find somebody to sell them to me, if I can buy a new case. And this is it right here. Pretty basic phone. Was originally designed to operate as either a buzzer ring notification or as a bell. It's got the hand crank right here for the bell part, which sends the signal to the other end. The bell is here to detect and ring on an incoming signal. And then on the side, right here, I'll flip it so you can see it, there's a button. This was the buzzer button. As the war went on, World War II, the British decided they wanted to do away with the buzzer portion, so they basically removed that module and replaced it so it doesn't function anymore, but the button's still there. Standard handset was almost used on a set D. And the set J, push to talk right there. It does have a plunger right here, which when the phone is on hook, you can't transmit or send audio. You have to, it has to come all the way up. The spring is weak, so you physically got to pull it all the way out to get side tone. That's what got it. It operated on a 3-volt battery, the standard square type batteries the British use in a lot of their phones. I actually have it converted to run on 2 D cells. There weren't any settings to make on the inside of it, and this is these screws right here is what we opened it up so you can get in the inside. It just hinged up like that, and you can see there's the inside. This one will send a ring when I crank it. I can ring another phone, but it will not accept an incoming ring. I did some troubleshooting, and I actually went directly to the contacts on the bell ringer, and it would ring. So somewhere in the contacts in here, I've got something that's probably open or needs to be cleaned. The wiring in this is pretty brittle. I did some poking around in it, and as I would move wires around and try to inspect stuff, the insulation would crack off. So I think I'm just going to leave it as is. I got the audio to work, so you can talk back and forth. So I think we're probably just going to leave it as that and just live with how it is. Right now what I'm going to do is shut down, we'll reconfigure, we'll hook up an E8 to it, and we'll make some phone calls. So stand by. Okay, I got it hooked up to my faithful, trusty E8. I didn't show you this on the first part of the video, but the binding posts are right here on the side. Right there, you can see the label. The phone was set up so it could be operated as a single wire ground return. It's got the L2 labeled as either L2 for connector or to earth. Like I said, it's got a lot of the labels on. A lot of the labels are really faded. I don't think I'm going to make any changes on this. This phone was actually made in 1938. So what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and we'll make some calls. We know that we can't call this way because they won't ring. So I'll go ahead and I'll call from the set F to the EE8. Grab the hand crank, and actually crank's pretty easy. Pick it up, do an audio check. Like I said, you have to help this pop up because the spring's not very good. Okay, here's audio from the EE8 to the set F.
Test 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
We'll go the other way, it's a little bit weaker. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's pretty much it. The British used these phones, I should say British and the Commonwealth forces used these phones during World War II. The British used them in the British participants that used them in Korea, Australians in that, Korean War. They pretty much got pulled from British military service in the early 50s, but the actual phones were used by the British civil defense until the mid-80s, and I found a lot of, did some reading online, and a lot of their bunkers had a bunch of these phones for their fallout shelters in that, and a lot of them that you buy online, you can see for sale, the ones that are in really good, pristine shape, you see, that's where they came from, so they actually were taken care of, properly stored. This one's a little bit rough, but like I said, it works, so lets me demonstrate what I want to demonstrate, and like I said, compatible with all the other World War II phones that had a ringer on them. Probably had a range between 5 and 10 miles, depending on how good the batteries are and how good the wire was. This is a British telephone set F Mark I. Thanks for watching.